out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
This is SportsCenter.
The Belichick era begins. I'm Chris Smith. Bill Belichick returns to the sidelines for his first stint as a college head coach, as his North Carolina Tar Heels host TCU at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. But seven-time national champ head coach Nick Saban says this will take some time with 70 new players on the roster.
Bill is a great coach, he's a great teacher, and he's great at developing players. So if you have that many new players, you really don't have a chance to develop them. So, my expectation is it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress, and he's going to make all these players better, and they're going to benefit and create more value for their future because of Bill, but it's going to take a little time.
Heard on the Pat McAfee Show. In the pro ranks, Packers pass rusher Michael Parsons has been dealing with a joint sprain in his back, and he may take an epidural injection before Sunday's game against the Lions, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Parsons has been practicing this week and is going to try and play, but one source told Shefty it's not certain that he will. At the U.S. Open, Naomi Osaka eliminated Coco Gauff in straight sets, reached her first Grand Slam in 4.5 years.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up on Unsportsmanlike, week 1 of the NFL season is finally here. Will the Eagles repeat, or will the competition in the NFC be too fierce? We'll discuss it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Happy Labor Day, everybody. You better damn well believe it's a happy Labor Day. First time we've done a show on Labor Day with LSU 1-0 in damn near 6 years. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Down to 25 seconds remaining in the game. He'll take the snap. He'll take the knee. We're down to 20 seconds. LSU begins to celebrate in Clemson, South Carolina, with a statement game for this team and this coaching staff and this program. LSU defeats Clemson 17-10 on the road to start the season.
The final score, it was the most emphatic result of college football's opening weekend, a weekend that saw 3 top 10 matchups. Of course, with Texas visiting Ohio State, there was LSU-Clemson, there was Notre Dame-Miami, all of those. And there was some great theater this weekend in college football, but the most significant result was what LSU did in Clemson, South Carolina on Saturday night. Winning this game for LSU was massive. But how you won the game, dare I say, was even bigger for LSU. You won this game, and there were two things I think that were so important as a result here. Number one is the psychology. You spent 9 months putting Clemson paws all over your facility with 1-0 plastered everywhere. Not sure if you noticed during pregame warmups, every LSU player in their pregame warmup shirts had 1-0 on the back of their shirts. They took it everywhere. It was on the video board at the indoor facility. It was in Tiger Stadium when they were scrimmaging, when we saw them there. It was unavoidable. In the team room, when you walked in, they had removed all the other games on the schedule and only had Clemson. They had an all-in focus. So what if you had lost? Now, I tend to believe college athletes will bounce back pretty quickly, but you never know. And for the first time since 2019, you don't have to sit here on Labor Day 0-1. It's a great feeling. That part of it is big. The other part that I think is even more significant for LSU big picture is you just bought yourself a gigantic cushion in the college football playoff conversation. Had LSU lost this game, a lot of people said it's a must-win. It wasn't. Had LSU lost this game, they still could have gone 6-2 in the league. Now, you'd have been 9-3 overall, but 6-2 might have been good enough, depending on how it looked, to get you to Atlanta. You could still win the SEC championship. Go 7-1 in the league. Get to Atlanta, win the SEC championship. Go 7-1, get to Atlanta. Even if you lose, you're 10-2 in the regular season. You could still get in. Now, because you've won this game, you go 6-2 in the league. Even if you don't make it to Atlanta, you're in. And it's hard for me to imagine that team we watched Saturday night losing 3 SEC games. Anything can happen. Long season, all that stuff. But my goodness, like what we saw on Saturday night was as impressive a performance as you could imagine. Again, there was the winning that was significant. How you won was even bigger because how you won was with your running game and your defense. And those two things will travel no matter where you go. They'll travel to Oxford. They'll travel to Tuscaloosa. They'll travel to Norman. They'll travel wherever you might play in the college football playoff if and when you get there. Those two things will play anywhere against anybody. If you can run the ball and you can defend, you can shrink the game, you can control the line of scrimmage, you will have a chance. That's exactly what we saw happen Saturday night in Clemson, South Carolina. Yes, that they won was massive functionally for the way the season plays out. How they won, even bigger. A few of my takeaways from this game. We could start anywhere. We could start with the defense. We could start with the offensive line, the running game. We could start with some of the crazy things that transpired throughout. Rallying. Clemson under Dabo lost for just the 12th time when leading at half. There's a lot of places we can start. I'm going to choose to start with Garrett Nussmeier because, as I've said, he is the most indispensable player in college football because of what you have behind him. You will not reach the levels you want without him, so you need him to be great. And Garrett Nussmeier was great on Saturday in a different way. We had become accustomed to Garrett Nussmeier throwing for 350 and 4 touchdowns because he had to throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns for LSU to win because your defense and your running game were not good a year ago. Nuss had to do it all. It was amazing to watch Garrett Nussmeier play within himself. Pro Football Focus has a statistic they call TWP, turnover-worthy plays. It's not necessarily say you committed a turnover, but what was a bad decision where you put the ball in harm. Garrett Nussmeier, in 75 offensive snaps for LSU on Saturday against Clemson, had 0 turnover-worthy plays. Garrett Nussmeier protected the football and made plays when he needed to. When you faced a 1st and 20, he found Aaron Anderson for 39 yards. When you had a 3rd and 5 and you were driving for a score and you needed to convert, he evaded a rush, found Kyle Parker for 16 yards. When you needed to convert first downs, Garrett Nussmeier snuck for 2 first downs, and there was a design run for 10 yards. Garrett Nussmeier converted 3 first downs with his feet in this game. We all wanted to see LSU run the ball. Garrett Nussmeier run the ball and protect the ball. Check, check. Awesome. The offensive line, massive part of our conversation, of everybody's conversation. You all know by now the 5 new starters and everything. There was some not great with the offensive line. They committed 4 penalties. They allowed 8 pressures and 1 sack. But overall, you will absolutely take that performance. You had 3 starting offensive linemen with a Pro Football Focus pass block grade above 80. Braylon Moore was at 85, Josh Thompson at 84, Paul Mabenga at 81. By the way, those are your 3 interior players. You can give help on the edge, like we've talked about, and LSU did. We saw it with Donovan Green. We saw it with Bauer Sharp. We saw it with K. Durham. They gave help on the edges throughout this game. You have to be able to prevent teams from blowing up the launch pad in the middle, and your 3 highest pass blocking grades were your 3 dudes in the middle. Why did you go get Braylon Moore and Josh Thompson in the portal? Because of that. Fantastic to see. And you made a commitment to running the football. Cole Kublik said it on this show earlier, last month. He said the complaints about LSU's running game last year are misplaced with the offensive line because you have to have a commitment to running the football. And LSU didn't do it a year ago. They were 60-40 pass run. They had to make a commitment to running. And on this game, LSU ran the ball 31 times. They ran it in the first half. They ran it in the second half. They ran it when it wasn't going well. They made a commitment. Joe Sloan made a commitment to running the football. And when you make the commitment, sometimes good things happen, like the first play of the game, where Caden Durham looks like he's going to get tackled for a loss on the left side. He slips a tackle, breaks around to the right, runs for 24 yards. You've got to be willing to commit to doing it, and they did. And that's why LSU was able to hold the ball for 37 minutes. Listen to me. LSU held the ball for 37 minutes and 10 seconds, 15 minutes more than Clemson. You had the ball. You possessed the football for a full quarter more than they did, which means you owned the line of scrimmage. Both sides, you owned the line of scrimmage. The defense was awesome. I could do a 3-hour show talking about this defense. By the way, by Pro Football Focus, your top 4 players defensively, Mansour Delane, Patrick Payton, Bernard Gooden, A.J. Halsey. What do those 4 guys have in common? Delane, Payton, Gooden, Halsey. What do they have in common? Say it out loud with me, wherever you are today, LSU fans. They're all transfers. Your top 4 PFF guys defensively, all transfers. I spent all fall camp telling you Gooden and Halsey were awesome. Maybe you thought I was blowing smoke. Don't question it anymore. They're awesome. Spent all fall camp saying, hey, you go spend $18 million on guys that have skins on the wall, that are veteran, experienced, and fit your culture. This is what it's going to look like. You didn't just go get bodies in the portal. You got veteran, proven dudes who also are here to win. Brian Kelly, after the game, mentioned 2 things in particular that this team had that put them over the top against Clemson. Give a listen.
The first thing you need to have when you go on the road and play a top 5 team is confidence in the belief that you can do what you need to do. And our guys believed that they were going to win the game. They really did. The next thing is you got composure. We had some mistakes early on, but our guys composed themselves at halftime and played with great composure. And I think the third thing is you got to compete and put the last play behind you and go to the next one. And to me, that's it. Play with great confidence. Know that you can do this. And they believed it.
Confidence and composure, because these are dudes that have done it. Look at how they faced adversity. Bauer Sharp fumbles. Did you notice who made the tackle on Bauer Sharp's fumble? It was Bauer Sharp. He got his ass off the ground and ran 30 yards downfield and made a tackle. Otherwise, that might have been a touchdown. By the way, what happened after that fumble? Defense, quick change, 3 and out. Incomplete, no gain, field goal. End of the first half, you come away with no points. Really disappointing sequence. Crowd's going nuts. They get the ball to start the second half. What happens? You force a missed field goal. Later, you get robbed of a touchdown on the Barry and Brown play, and then you miss a field goal. Damian Ramos gets a cramp, limping off the field. Vibes are low at this point. What does the defense do? Boom, 3 and out. Stop at the end of the game. Every time this team faced adversity in this game, they stepped up and were like, we're good. What you want? Why? because you've got a bunch of dudes that are 21, 22, 23 years old that have been playing college football for 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the case of Jamari Butler and Jacoby and Guillory, who have seen everything. They have seen it all. There's nothing new. Going on the road in front of 80,000 people was not new for them. They've all done it, and they've done it successfully. LSU just won the toughest game on its schedule, y'all. I'm not sitting here telling you they're going undefeated, because there are landmines all over a schedule, and it's hard to go undefeated. Ohio State won the national championship a year ago. They lost twice. They lost at Oregon, lost to Michigan. I'm not sitting here telling you they're flawless, they're 2019, they're going undefeated. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is LSU just won the toughest game on its schedule. Going to Oxford won't be more difficult than that. Going to Tuscaloosa sure as hell ain't going to be more difficult than that with the way Alabama's line of scrimmage plays. Going to Norman, Oklahoma won't be as tough as what you just did. And none of those teams coming to Baton Rouge, Florida, South Carolina, will Rex Beck scoring, 17 points on offense against Virginia Tech. Come on. You just won the toughest game on your schedule. And there is no game that will be more challenging, considering the venue on the road, the opponent, the most returning experience in the country, and the circumstance. All of your new pieces in game one. Most difficult game on your schedule, and you ace the test. Awesome. What a win for the Tigers and the rest of the nation, if they weren't already paying attention to Lee Corso Saturday on game day, who picked LSU to win the national championship. They all better be paying attention now after LSU did what they just did to Clemson in Fake Death Valley. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Fightin' Tigers of LSU. When you get to your great local retailers, make sure you keep an eye out for the new white cans and aluminum bottles. It's the officially licensed LSU can. First home game this weekend. You're going to be tailgating. Make sure you got plenty of ice cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Make sure you scoop up those officially licensed limited edition Bud Light cans and aluminum bottles. Nothing better to tailgate with than the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. There's a few more things I want to delve into with the game. The scenario at the end of the half, the Berrien Brown play, the plays that everybody's talking about. We'll do that as we continue. Stick around with us here on AFR, presented by Relief Windows.
After Further Review.
All right, y'all, we've moved into September, so you got a few weeks left to participate in the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys Billboard Design Competition. It's easy. Just design a billboard with Gordon on it. And there's some rules and recs you got to go, rules and specs that you got to follow. So you can get them at getgordon.com/billboards. Go to the website, getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards. Design Gordon's new billboard. If they pick it, if you win, winners are going to win a share of $2,000 up to $2,000 cash. You will have a donation made to a charity of your choice and get the opportunity to see your billboard all over town. Look, there were some great ones. A lot of times, cultural references coming, like the Barbie movie. Remember a couple of years ago, was a great one. There was a Top Gun movie. Great designs. You can see past designs, come up with your own. Go to getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards. Get Gordon and get it done.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
When it comes out this week, should Ohio State be number one?
No. LSU had the best win of week one. They went on the road into Death Valley, and they beat a team capable of competing for the national title as well. I think Ohio State is an extremely good team. But when I do this every week, I look at it through the eyes of a selection committee member, and no one had a better win than LSU.
By the way, Heather Dinich there, she's completely right. It's another reason why I've always hated preseason polls. They're a basis of conversation. I understand why they exist, but it's stupid. Even Ross Dellinger today put out his top 10, had LSU as the number one team in the country. I know our guy Chris Marler, LouisianaSports.net, put out his SEC power rankings, had LSU number one. Yes, because if you're doing it based on merit and merit alone, there is no team in America that had a better win this weekend than what LSU did in Clemson, South Carolina, and it's not even debatable. Yes, based on a one-week sample, LSU should be the number one team in the country. If you're looking for polls and wondering why we don't see them today, it's because there's still another game. North Carolina plays TCU here on Monday night, Bill Belichick's debut, and after that, when week one is complete, then we'll have the polls. So we'll have the polls on Tuesday. Also, Brian Kelly's weekly press conference, which is normally on Mondays, with the Labor Day holiday, they always move it to Tuesday. So Brian Kelly will meet with reporters at noon on Tuesday. Of course, you'll hear that on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, LSU Sports Radio Network. We'll have it for you on our Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel as well. There's so much I want to get into in this game. Peter Burns to start hour two as well. And we do have some Saints stuff to get into as New Orleans is into game week for the first time. The Saints NFL season opens on Thursday. The Saints will play Sunday in the Dome against Arizona. And if you missed it earlier today, the Saints cut former All-Pro special teamer JT Gray. And made a couple of roster shuffles. So we'll get to that a bit later in the show. Two things in particular in this game that I want to talk about, plays, moments in the game that have kind of been really heavily discussed among the LSU contingent. One was the sequence at the end of the first half. Now, Brian Kelly in postgame was not asked about that sequence and the decision that they made to go for it and what all transpired. there's two things two different angles I want to discuss this. One is simply the fact to go for it, which I hated. You called the timeout with 15 seconds left. So you're out of timeouts. There's 15 seconds left in the half. You're down 10-3 at that moment. And I understand a field goal doesn't get you within one score. It would still be a 4-point game. It'd be a 2-score game. But I think we all understood that LSU was going to have to find the end zone in this game anyway. And as I often say, the objective is not to get yards or first downs. The objective is to score points. It doesn't matter how many yards, time of look at the whole yardstick. It doesn't matter. The scoreboard's what matters. You need to score points. You have an opportunity to get points. I bemoan a lot coaches that pass on points. So I hated the decision. Like a year ago in the opening possession of the season when LSU played USC, got down into the red zone, goal-to-go situation, 4th down, went for it, didn't score. Same thing happened in the season opening possession against Florida State 2 years ago. We see this a lot. And I hated the decision in that moment when offense in the first half was tough to come by to pass on points. Now, LSU did put up 177 yards of offense in the first half. It was 177 to 110. LSU would outgain Clemson. LSU had 11 first downs to Clemson's 6. LSU would run for 65 yards to Clemson's 19 in the first half. So it wasn't pretty, but you had moved the ball. That's a situation where I think you got to get points. They decided not to. They went for it. Fine. I hated that decision. Now let's talk about what happened whenever they ultimately went for it, okay? When you call the timeout and there's 15 seconds left in the half, you look at that circumstance, and it's 4th and 2, and I know a lot. What I've heard most from people who disagree with the play call, they ran the screen to Chris Hilton out in the flat, is why'd you run that play? Because you're going to run out of time anyway. Like there's not enough time to kick a field goal or do. Yes, there absolutely was. To run another play and or kick a field goal. So there's 15 seconds left when you come out of your timeout and you snap the football. Remember, the clock stopped. There's 15 seconds left. And they run the play, the screen to Chris Hilton. Let's assume a couple of scenarios that could have unfolded. One, Hilton catches the ball, gets the first down. Well, what happens when he gets the first down? The clock stops. The fumble was recovered with 9 seconds left. So let's assume he gets the first down, the clock stops with 9 seconds left. Okay. You get up to the line of scrimmage, you spike the ball, that takes 1 second, even say it's 2 seconds. All right, 9 is now 7. Or you run a play. When you're coming out of the timeout, no doubt, Joe Sloan has called 2 plays. You've got the 4th down play, and then in the event that they get it in bounds, the next play. And there's plenty of time to run a route into the end zone. And you have to tell Nussmeier one of two things happens. This is either a touchdown or an incomplete pass. You cannot throw an interception. You cannot take a sack. It's either you got your route, you throw the touchdown, and we score a touchdown, or you throw it away, it's an incomplete pass, and we kick a field goal. There's plenty enough time for that to happen. There's also a scenario, because Hilton's on the sideline, that if he gets it and gets out of bounds, the clock stops anyway. Now you're not worrying about it. You don't have to run up and spike the ball. You'll have 9 seconds to run a pass into the end zone, and if it's caught, great. And if not, you go kick the field goal. So I don't hate the decision to throw the screen. It just didn't work. They covered it well. Hilton caught it. They gobbled him up, and he fumbled. The play didn't work. But I don't hate that decision, because you've still got plenty of time to execute the things you want to execute. You're probably going to go run a jump ball to Trey-Dez Green, because you're doing that the whole time anyway, and they couldn't stop it. So, or whatever play they would have run. I don't hate the decision to run the screen. I hated the decision to go for it to begin with. But that's what Brian Kelly does. I don't know if, having seen his team now defend for 4 quarters the way it did, if that changes his line of thinking, where instead of going, man, three, in years past, it was, man, 3s aren't going to get it done. You knew with as bad as LSU's defense was, you had to get 6s, not 3s. So maybe the analysis from Kelly changes a little bit, knowing he's got a great defense. And any amount of points that the offense can generate gives his defense an even greater advantage of winning the football game. That's one. The other thing that was kind of bonkers was the Berrien Brown play. Brian Kelly, after the game, was asked about the Berrien Brown play, and I'm actually really sympathetic to his answer here. Like, not just Brian Kelly, but any coach. I really understand this component of it.
You know, it's too hard for coaches on the sideline because we think every play should go our way, right? And so at some point you just got to trust the process, and they're looking at it, and then you move on to the next play. And because if you spend too much time on it, that's what I tell our kids. It's like, look, you're not going to be perfect today. You're going to have a bad play. Move on to the next play. I got to move on to the next one too, and I'm trying to grow up too.
There is that component where I understand when you're standing on the sideline. Just think of it this way. Let me think of it in a way that you and I can understand. You know, whenever you're watching the game in the stadium, how different it is than being at home? When you're watching something real time, maybe you got a few pops in you, there's 80,000, 100,000 people screaming, you're all kind of caught up in the moment, wanting to go your way, but you're looking at whatever sight line you have. It's dramatically different than when you're at home and you have 10 different camera angles showing you everything in super slow-mo. It's different. Like, you get a better look at home. So now imagine, not only are you not at home watching with all the slow-mo, you're not even in the stands looking at the video board. You're on the field. And by the way, whatever the result of this call is, you've got to make the decision of what's next. So you're not super involved in the thought of this call. You're thinking, what are our circumstances for next? So I understand in the moment, coaches in a post game probably aren't going to have the best reaction to that. I want to know what Brian Kelly has to say on Tuesday when he meets with reporters after he's had a chance to look at this play 100 times and get the explanation from the league as to why it was called the way that it was. Now, I was watching South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Nick Harbor had almost an identical circumstance unfold. If you weren't watching, Nick Harbor is a fantastic receiver from South Carolina who caught a ball, possession, foot down in the end zone. He's going out of bounds, and the Virginia Tech defender sort of swipes the ball, and as he's going down, it shifts a little in his hands. I think there's a pretty basic component here, which is with Berrien Brown, he's got possession, a foot down in bounds, and then he hits the pylon. So when he catches the ball and possesses it with a foot down in bounds, then he becomes a runner. And when he hits the pylon, it's a touchdown. I mean, Bill Lamagna, who was on the official who was on the broadcast with Fowler and Herbstreit, said the same thing. Like, it's a touchdown. I'm only a slight bit bitter because I might have had a Berrien Brown anytime touchdown wager, which, yeah. What? You can do it. You can do it offshore.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking. Like,
you can do it offshore.
How'd you get that?
You can do it offshore.
Okay.
Louisiana doesn't allow it.
They don't.
But you can do it offshore. Yeah. What if you had parlayed the under and a Berrien Brown anytime touchdown?
That would be tough.
That's a tough beat.
That's a really bad beat.
That's a really tough beat.
Yeah.
So I'm acknowledging. I'm just being transparent here. Okay. But like, can't we all agree? Just at its most basic level, intellectually, regardless of who you cheer for, if that's not a touchdown, the standard for what is a catch is absurd, because that was an incredible effort and a dude got robbed of a touchdown, period. When they went to review, my only thought was, are they ruling him out at the one, or is it a touchdown? And actually, I'm thinking it's touchdown. There was no part of my brain where they're coming out of review and I'm thinking they're calling this an incomplete pass. I sat there in stunned silence. The only correlation I can give you is Nola no call. Now, I understand there was way more on the line at Nola no call when that happened the way it did, but I'm just talking about my reaction, where I wasn't like throwing things or screaming or yelling. I was just sitting there in stunned disbelief that I saw transpire what transpired. But then I saw the same thing with Nick Harbor on Sunday in the game for South Carolina against Virginia Tech, and it's pretty clear, like, that's the way these officials see that. I don't know if they'll change the rule, but they should, because Berrien Brown and Nick Harbor this weekend both got robbed of touchdowns. And if it happened on consecutive days, it probably happens every game day. It just doesn't happen to your team every game day. So you only become aware of it when it happens to your team. And if that's something that consistently happens, that rule's got to change, because both those guys scored touchdowns. And you're talking about scoring plays that affect outcomes and officials negatively involving themselves in those. So that was a tough scene. Also a tough scene was Brian Kelly getting trucked by a ref. Are you disappointed they didn't go show the replay? Like,
so I didn't see it real time. My buddy who I was watching the game with.
Oh, you didn't see Kelly like tumbling down the field?
He saw it. And then I found it the next day on Instagram, and I was like, oh.
Wait, did you find a wide shot?
Yeah.
Of him getting run over?
Yeah.
Okay, I only saw the TV copy. I still haven't seen. I need to go check it then. Because they did, on the TV broadcast, they did not go show Kelly get trucked. I feel like they were kind of missing.
It's week 1 for everybody, right?
Yeah, the broadcasts, they didn't have their fat. Even Fowler and Herbstreit during the Berry and Brown play, their discussion wasn't possession of the ball. Their whole thing was like, is he hitting the pylon? Like they weren't even considering. So this is where Brian Kelly.
There we go. Yeah.
I mean, so Kelly's standing on the white and the ref's running downfield, chasing the play and just trucks Brian Kelly. So good, I guess good on the ref. I mean, he's backpedaling. He was in a backpedal.
Kelly's got something for him when he gets up, man. I mean, I don't really know if he's saying, "Did you not see me?" or
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't mind asking him.
Yeah, Coach,
either in the press conference or after. I'll ask him. He'll answer. He'll tell me.
Coach, will we see you in pads against Louisiana Tech?
Probably not going to ask him that. But I am going to wear a sport coat tomorrow because last week he made fun of everybody for being underdressed. So I'm not going to go suit because I don't have a suit that fits me anymore. But I do have many very nice sport coats that fit me, and I'm gonna maybe I might go tie.
Tie would be good.
Necktie, sport coat, because he's gonna be open collar. So I might go necktie, dress shirt, necktie, sport coat, slacks. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 for Dr. Blake Williamson and the team over at the Williamson Eye Center. 10 days, September 11th, will be my LASIK anniversary. I can always remember it, of course, because it was September 11th. But my LASIK anniversary is coming up, the day that changed my life. And I don't say that flippantly, literally. I mean, when you can wake up in the morning and just see, it transforms your life. Ask anyone that's ever had LASIK. Ask anyone that's ever had refractive surgery to be able to ditch contacts and glasses forever. They'll tell you the same thing. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, y'all. Let me knock out a quick break. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Peter Burns, SEC Network, in about 25 minutes. We get PB's thoughts on the SEC weekend that was. There was a game in Tallahassee on Saturday that I'd probably like to talk about. I don't know, Muse. Maybe we could shoehorn this in somewhere around 5 o'clock. Think we do that,
I think we got an opening there, yeah.
Maybe we'll shoot that. Okay, we'll shoehorn. Maybe. We'll see if it fits. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see if it fits. We'll try to get it in there. Might have a little crease. We'll see if we can get that. All right, it's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
We are brought to you by Glow Resources, Complete Employer Solutions, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Glow Resources, they help you maximize efficiency by helping you find the right people. I want you to consider this. Even if you're someone in your business who does a lot of interviews, you interview a lot of people, prospective employees, I want you to consider this. In a given year, Glow Resources does about 50 interviews a day, so 15,000 interviews over the course of the year. You want to know why they're so good at finding the right people for the job you're trying to fill, whatever job in whatever industry? Because they do 15,000 interviews a year. They know the right questions to ask to be able to avoid potential pitfalls that rob you of efficiency with the wrong people. Right people in the right positions will make you more efficient, save money, do it right the first time. glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I think it helped a lot. I mean, you know, it was a sloppy football game for us as an offense. Obviously, it's not something that we're extremely excited about. You know, we turned the ball over early and we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times, but I think it was just a great team win. And how about our defense? I mean, sticking up for us. I mean, allowing 10 points to one of the better offenses in the country. I'm just so proud of those guys, and I'm excited for our offense to get to work and get things right.
Garrett Nussmeier after LSU beats Clemson on Saturday 17-10. He's right. The offense was at times a bit sloppy, but so often you just got to consider what you were up against. There's going to be more productive days, but 354 of total offense. First downs was 25-13. You outgained him 354-261. You outpassed him 246-230. It was about even. Remember, the Berrien Brown pass, had it been completed, that would have been 31 yards, I believe, would have been the Berrien Brown pass. So you would have been talking about closer to 280 for Nussmeier, and if that was a touchdown and another passing touchdown, would have looked much better, obviously, on the stat sheet. The score would have been more one-sided. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, all that stuff. But the point is, 108 on the ground to 31. Both teams committed 6 penalties. Time of possession, 37 minutes to 22 minutes, 37-10 to 22-55. I mean, it was, you dominated the yardstick. You dominated the stat sheet. Your sloppiness is why this wasn't a more convincing one-sided win. Bauer Sharp's fumble gave them 3 points. They put together one drive at the end of the first half. You could have had points at the end of the first half. You were in position to do so. You had 2 returns that were negated by penalty. You missed a field goal. The Berrien Brown play could have been a touchdown. All that to say, there were moments. Another play. The Chris Hilton false start. If you remember the play, LSU was moving, if you're watching it on TV, left to right. And Hilton false starts, and they blew the whistle kind of late. And LSU had the motion where everything was going left, and Aaron Anderson, who was on the left, was coming back to the right. Nuss dumps it off underneath, and he turns upfield, and he might have scored. Like, if you actually go back and watch the play, I mean, if you want to go rewind it and find it, like, he would have had one guy to beat in open space. And I kind of like Aaron Anderson in open space, one-on-one with the safety to make a guy miss and get in the end zone. But Nuss is right, man. They did. I think we all know it. They did leave a lot of points out there. But that's the challenge of playing in that venue on the road with all the new guys and all the elements, all the variables going against you, which is why going on the road and winning that game was so difficult, and why it's even more impressive that they did. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Paris Restoration, parisrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Somebody asked me I was doing whiskey and wine this weekend about what was the company that kills the mold and sprays the fog. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. They'll knock out harmful pathogens, can sanitize any place. So if maybe you got an illness, sickness going around, you have Parish come in. They'll spray the non-toxic dry fog, get rid of all those harmful viruses and the bacteria that causes odor. So if you got pet odor, smoke odor, anything, sweat, anything that causes odor, then come spray, knock it out, smelling clear, clean, and fresh, all that stuff. It's Parish Restoration. parishrestoration.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Kalen DeVos provided several injury updates Monday after the Tide lost to Florida State. Did you know they lost to Florida State?
I heard about that, yeah.
Might have missed that. Wide receiver Ryan Williams left in the fourth quarter with concussion. He's in the protocol this week. Alabama plays ULM this week. Don't you go lose to ULM. I mean, Saban lost to ULM. And this is actually a pretty good ULM team. Don't you go lose to ULM. I mean, you don't want me dressed up like a war hawk on Monday. You want me flying through the air like a war hawk on Monday. You go lose to ULM. Defensive tackle Tim Keenan out this week with an ankle injury. Running back J.M. Miller week to week coming along nicely, according to Kalen DeBose as well.
The Auburn Tigers.
Safety champ Anthony broke his thumb in the game against Baylor. He's out indefinitely. Hugh Freeze said he didn't know how long that Champ Anthony would be out. He's actually coming off a season-ending broken leg that he suffered last year. That sucks, man. Feel bad for that guy. Auburn likely turns to Colorado transfer Jaquez Robinson. True freshman Eric Winters could also play at safety for Auburn.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Cornerback Ricky Gibson III expected to miss an extended period of time. That according to Josh Heupel, who did not specify the nature of the injury. It is Go Vols 24/7 is reporting it's an upper body injury, but didn't specify what it might be. Tennessee beat Syracuse 45-26 in Atlanta over the weekend. Vols back in action Saturday when they host East Tennessee State.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Shane Beaver gave an update on Judge Collier and Cedric Surratt. Of course, Carolina beat Virginia Tech on Sunday, but they lost those two players, including cornerback Judge Collier. A 3-year, entering year 3 there with the Gamecocks. Left in the first quarter, did not return, had a brace on his left leg with crutches. Beamer said it's a knee injury. They'll see how serious when they get back to Columbia. Surratt is a true freshman, said he wasn't there today on Sunday with the team and he's injured. They'll have his role. He would have had a role in the game had he been available, but not quite ready to get him out there.
The Missouri Tigers.
And Mizzou's added a kicker to the roster from the junior college ranks. Blake Craig went down with an injury in the third quarter of the season opener against Central Arkansas. Will be out for several weeks. So, Power Mizzou reporting they're adding Northeastern Oklahoma A&M kicker Ryder Goodwin. I need to get Sharif on that. Ryder Goodwin. Kind of an insurance policy. Missouri had Robert Meyer handle the place kicking duty after the injury to Craig. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Monday shows brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We'll now got a quick break. Wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge is home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number one. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Every Friday, we go around the room, tell you things we're watching. When we come back on Monday, we tell you what we learned.
We watched. Now, let's review.
All right, well, we had Marler with us as well, so obviously he's not here today. So we'll shrink it a smidge. Muse, fire away.
Yeah, so first for me was Hugh Freeze year 3. How'd they get off to a good start? Boy, did they. I mean, dominated Baylor, really, from start to finish in that game. Jackson Arnold with his legs. I mean, that looked like a Hugh Freeze offense, if I've ever seen it. He only threw for 108, but if he's going to run for 137, look out. That was a good start. Whoosh.
Paulie.
Yeah, my first one was Notre Dame and Miami, the top 10 matchup. Miami jumped out to a 24-14 lead. Notre Dame came storming back in the end. Ended up losing by a field goal there. DJ Daniels had a nice catch too.
Catch of the weekend. Told you to keep an eye out on Tulane. Remember, Boise State was the betting favorite to be the G5 or now G6 representative playoff. Tulane had the second best odds. Boise State got blown out. Tulane had a great opportunity against Northwestern. They passed with flying colors. And oh, by the way, John Sumrall after the game said this.
You know, we wore the green helmets today for the 20th anniversary of Katrina. I'm going to say one thing. I'm not trying to take a shot, but we requested to wear white jerseys because that's what that team wore. It got denied by the other team. That's their prerogative. But when you show disrespect to the city of New Orleans, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to run into a team like.
Okay, John Summerall not happy with Northwestern, and Northwestern's coach, by the way, came out today and said they meant no disrespect. So onward.
Arch Manning, Julian saying Ohio State, Texas. That was rough for Arch. 50% at the half for about 20 some odd yards, threw a pick, missed a lot of open receivers, some big misses, and it didn't go great. Julian Sain wasn't much better, but he didn't turn the ball over and kind of just did exactly what Ohio State needed. They got the win. Great defense in that game.
My next one was the debut for Bryce Underwood. He went 21 for 31, 251 yards passing, 1 touchdown, -5 yards on the ground. Michigan got the win over New Mexico, 34-17.
Yeah, we'll find out more this week when they go to Norman. Joey Aguilar, playoff team a year ago in Tennessee. Nico's now at UCLA. Aguilar, the UCLA transfer coming in, 16-28 for 247 and 3 tuds. Tennessee led Syracuse 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. They never looked back. But flying colors for Joey Aguilar in his debut.
South Carolina and Virginia Tech wanted to look at the Gamecocks year 3 high, or the hype train coming in here. Sure, Virginia Tech's not very good. I don't think I really learned much. They did fine.
My last one is the game tonight, the debut of Bill Belichick for North Carolina. Greatest coach of all time. See how he translates to the college game.
And I was looking at the debut of Rich Rod, his second debut at West Virginia. 45-3, the Mountaineers beat Robert Morris. A little bit of throwback there with Rich Rod in Morgantown, a storyline to watch there in the Big 12 this season. All right, that's what we learned. We'll do that every Thursday, Monday throughout the season. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Our Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. They do shutters as well. Check them out, Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, Sports Center's coming. Get you caught up on national headlines when we come back. Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Stay here.
AFR.
South Point Volkswagen is open today on Labor Day. So, here before 4 o'clock Central Time, if you're thinking, I got the day off, been thinking about a new vehicle, been hearing Scone talk about South Point Volkswagen for years, more than a decade, actually. Here's your chance. Get on by. They are open on Labor Day, and they've got amazing Labor Day savings going on right now, like 3.9% on 2025 Tiguan, or you get 4.9% for 60 months, 4.9% on 2025 Taos. Great deals all across the lot. And as we always say, if it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. That's South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Hey, if they can save you money, even if you're outside of Baton Rouge, isn't it worth the drive? It's at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highlander, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services.
This is SportsCenter.
A new era begins. I'm Chris Smith. Bill Belichick, owner of 6 Super Bowl rings, returns to the sidelines for his first stint as a college head coach. And he has high expectations for his North Carolina Tar Heels as they host TCU at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Well, I'm going to try to focus on my job, help the team in areas that I can with decision making or, maybe a strategy change or something like that if that's appropriate. Players going to have to go out there and make the plays. I won't be able to do any of that for us, which is probably a good thing. And we're all going to need to do a good job for it to all come together.
Belichick is his second coach to win a Super Bowl and then coach in college, joining Bill Walsh, who won 3 Super Bowls with the Niners before returning to coach Stanford. Meanwhile, Packers pass rusher Michael Parsons has been dealing with a joint sprain in his back, and he may take an epidural injection before Sunday's game against the Lions, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Parsons has been participating in practice all week and trying to play, but one source told Schefter it's not certain that he will. At the U.S. Open, Naomi Osaka eliminated Coco Gauff in straight sets to reach her first Grand Slam quarterfinal in more than 4.5 years. Every time she's made it, she's won.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up on Unsportsmanlike, Week 1 of the NFL season is finally here. Will the Eagles repeat, or will the competition in the NFC be too fierce? We'll discuss it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll dive into LSU's Pro Football Focus grades from this weekend. That's something we'll do every Monday here. We might talk in 1 hour a smidge, if we can shoehorn it in, about Alabama losing in Tallahassee. I don't know if we'll have time. I'll try to make it work at the start of next hour. We'll see. I don't know if it's actually why we have Peter Burns on right now, so we can talk about that game, because I may not have time later. Let's welcome Peter to the show.
This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network, presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
So specific on the yardage that the cleat traveled 20 yards down the field. PB, Peterman, check out Channel 9. Check out this chick. What's up, Peterman?
Hey, Dave, we did it. We did it. Unbelievable. Are you kidding? How many times have I come on this damn show the first weekend or the first Monday
Labor Day
after the season and been like, what the hell happened? And then finally, they broke through and they reminded me of the old LSU Tigers that we fell in love with, Matt. I mean, this is like, I'm ready to hurt again. I'm ready to hurt again.
I don't know we're going to hurt too much this year, man. That's what happens when you spend $18 million on a bunch of grown men. Hey, what was more significant, LSU's win or Alabama's loss?
I don't think there's a doubt that it's LSU's win because of everything that went along with it. And I think they kind of go hand in hand, right? You're talking about, obviously, you get over the schneid of 5 in a row. You get over the schneid that BK finally gets the one, the marquee win, the road win. But it's also a litmus test of where you're at. You got pressed against, I think, a fairly talented offense. I think, obviously they struggled to run the ball, but I think that was more of a product of what Blake Baker and this defense did. And let's be honest, this thing, the SEC at 6 p.m. Eastern was dead and buried. Texas had lost to Ohio State, albeit a good game, and Alabama got pushed into a locker by a team that went 2-10 last year. So the obituary for the entire the conference was done until LSU swooped in and saved the day.
Yeah, I mean, so many reasons that was massively significant. Would you put them right now, LSU right now, as the top team in the league?
In the league, yes. What the hell do I know about Georgia against Marshall, right? Like, I don't know. How much did we learn about A&M and Marcel Reed throwing 4 touchdowns against my former squad, UTSA? Like, we don't really know that much after week 1 unless you test yourself. And there was a lot of LSU fans, including myself, that wonder, I'm like, dude, why don't we just go ahead and schedule like Indiana football and get Kent State Tech Amish School of Technology in week 1 and just get it out of your system, right? And now I'm glad we didn't. And the fact that you went out there and you punked Clemson in their own building. What's going on? That's as dominant of a second half of football that I've seen a long, long time. Seriously, like it was complimentary. Sloan was in his bag. The wide receivers were making plays. Defensively, they looked different. This was, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It's the first time in like 8 years that I felt this way.
I'm glad you brought up Sloan, too, because there is a contingent of the LSU fan base. I think, honestly, PB, I think it's just people that don't know any better. And so they just go, man, the play call, Sloan. It's just the convenient target. But what did you see from Joe Sloan?
Yeah, I saw a guy that was probably more comfortable in calling plays and more unique looks that I remember. My dad and I were sitting there watching it, and I'm like, do you ever recall seeing that play? Like, Xavier Thomas, I'm like, what's that? It looked different. The pacing was different. And I don't know if it was, and you guys might get the answer to it. I don't know if it was Nuss checking to it, but when they went to the same play, not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row, like we would if I was playing like Xbox or PlayStation, I loved it because it was, we always wonder, like, if it works, why do you not keep doing it? And they do it 3 times in a row because of a different look. I'm like, that's because Nuss is comfortable. Sloan's giving him that part, or Sloan called it one way or another. I loved it. And it just feels like it's complementary football in different ways. It's not only just what Nuss can bring because of the rushing attack or what the offensive line did, but it's also the play calling for Sloan and the way that Blake called it as well too. I just thought it was nice to have a smile on my face on Labor Day Monday, and we haven't had a chance to do that in a long time.
Oh, man. Peter Burns, SEC Network, at Peter Burns, ESPN, courtesy of Blue Delta Jeans. Hey, you're there at the studios on game day. So like people like me, I wasn't in Clemson, so I got to watch a lot of football. But if you're in a stadium somewhere, you're really just covering one game, PB. So a lot of people miss a lot. Yeah. What's the storyline from Saturday when everybody was watching Texas, Ohio State, Bama, Florida State, LSU, Clemson? What's the storyline from Saturday nobody saw?
Well, the story that probably, I would say nobody saw. I think it's just some of the debuts looked really good. I think John Mateer for Oklahoma. Again, it's Illinois State, right? So who knows? But just the way that he looked, and that, of course, LSU faces him in the last game of the season. I mean, Mateer, I had on my show on SEC Network this morning, and that guy's a dude, man. He's built to disrupt, and I thought that was impressive. I mean, listen, when it comes down to it, the story is still going to be Alabama getting absolutely punked by Florida State. I know we all watched it. I know LSU fans absolutely loved it, and it's just, dude, the mystique, and I know that you've talked about it, Bama is burning, but the mystique is done. It's absolutely done. I mean, I remember being on the field every time you'd watch LSU and Bama play, and as hype as you were, when Bama came out of the locker room, you're like, oh, crap. Like, it was just the cyborgs that didn't give a damn about you, and they were going to disrupt your whole family's life. And then now I think everybody looks at Alabama, Moscona, as an opportunity, like a wounded animal that they can finally parade around. I mean, like, it's not completely dead because people still rush the field after beating Bama, but there's going to come a day where Alabama's going to lose, and the home team is going to sit there and go, yeah, good victory. And that's going to be an absolute gut punch when it doesn't mean anything to beat Alabama.
Huh. You think they still have a pulse?
I do. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not like Kalen DeBoer or Ryan Grubb and those guys they forgot how to coach. It was just, I think, honestly, what happened, they went out there, they went 16 plays, 75 yards, 9-minute drive, and pumped them on the first drive, and they're like, oh, I mean, it's FSU. They were 2-10 last year. It's done. And Thomas Castellanos had a little Diego Pavia in him. Gus Malzahn damn sure had something in the bag for him. And Alabama was caught flat-footed. And defensively, I mean, they just looked. Again, everything that Bama looked is what I've seen out of LSU sometimes. They're like, oh my God, that was just. Why can't they piece it together? And it's flipped. I mean, I'll spin it to you and back. Right now, do you fear Alabama?
No, I haven't feared him since Nick left. I understand what happened last year in Baton Rouge, but that's an LSU problem because LSU's defense was atrocious and couldn't tackle a quarterback. But I mean, that wasn't a Bama thing. That was Lenora Sellers. That was Marcel Reed. That was every running quarterback they played last year. But no, I mean, why should you? Their culture's gone. They're not good at the line of scrimmage, on either line of scrimmage. Florida State just ran for 230 yards against them. Like, no, they're not good, Peter. They're not good.
I also think, and talking to people down in Alabama, this comes from people that are close to the facility, not inside the facility, but people that are around
their facility
Alabama
adjacent.
Football.
They're sort of like not in the main hall, but like in the T building next to the main hall.
Yeah, arms length.
Got it.
Let's just put it that way. And I think that there was a lot of people, and I think LSU was like this for the first year or two of NIL and transfer portal, where it's like, I mean, we are who we are. We can cherry pick a couple of players here and there, and we'll be fine. But we're Alabama. We don't need to do all of this stuff. That's below us to a certain extent. And I think now you realize when people go in heavy at the transfer portal, really, I mean, like, listen, the best thing that happened to LSU was Bryce Underwood flipping. I've been on that wall since the day that he flipped, and all of a sudden it felt like there was a new energy around LSU about like, all right, we're going to take that money that was going to go to Bryce. We're going to put it in other places that have depth where we really need it. And Bryce Underwood may be great, but what we're seeing right now is the fruits of Bryce Underwood flipping and being able to be like, all right, that hurt our feelings. Let's get after it in the transfer portal. And I think that's the difference maker. Blake Baker's got ingredients in the cupboard. Joe Sloan's got some depth right now. Nussmeier's got some help. Like that's going to be the best thing that happens to LSU, at least early in the season.
He's on Twitter at Peter Burns, ESPN. One more for you. Gus Malzahn, Hugh Freeze, Gus's former school. That feels like a really significant win for a guy that feels like he's teetering on the plains. What did you see from Auburn on Friday night against Baylor?
Yeah, like as a golfer that's struggling with your swing, you're like, dude, the first hole's got out of bounds on both sides. And I could blow this thing out of bounds and shoot 86, right? Like, and just be terrible.
Good analogy.
And then all of a sudden they striked it. And I think Jackson Arnold is a guy that if you get him into a routine and you feel good about it, he's going to have success. And he needed that. I mean, that guy, like Sally Struthers that used to do the commercials for the dogs, like the ASPCA or whatever it is?
Well, no, I remember Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan, like the eyes of the angel.
Yeah,
and,
in
like,
the arms of the
like
angel,
a 2-minute long commercial, and I'd have to cry every time and change it. Right. Like, that's what Jackson Arnold felt like when I interviewed him over at Media Days. He felt like a guy that had been, like, just seeing some stuff at Oklahoma, and he needed to see some success. And I mean, that game shouldn't have been close. Everybody was making it to be a close game, and I said it before, and like, why are we overthinking this? If Auburn's roster is as good as they say it is, and it's good, and if they can't compete, and I love Dave Aranda for everything he did for this football team, but if they couldn't beat Baylor, they shut it all down. I mean, so I wasn't that surprised with what happened, but it was still a big victory for him.
Jackson Arnold still got to prove he can throw the football, but running for 137 certainly helped Auburn pace to a 2-touchdown win against Baylor. He's Peter Burns, SEC Network. He'll be with us on Mondays, chopping it up after the weekend that was.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
I need help though.
Okay.
I'm legitimately need the Baton Rouge LSU help. Obviously, LSU, Florida. Me and Doring have the wager every single year. I lost the damn thing last year. I had to dress up as a stupid band member for the Gators.
Mm-hmm.
So it's week 3 now.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're going to do for our bet.
Okay.
Like, no idea. So I need people to call in or text or carrier pigeon, whatever, because I'm coming in town for that game. I already told SEC Network I ain't working. I'm coming to Baton Rouge because I got to watch that game. So I need help on figuring out what our actual bet in studio is going to be for the Monday after LSU-Florida this year.
Okay, we'll get on it. PB, it's
thank you.
It's going to go well for you this year with that bet.
Listen, who throws a shoe, honestly? Who throws a shoe?
He's Peter Burns, never throws a shoe, but he's always bringing it here. Thank you, sir.
See you, boys.
We'll see you. That's Peter Burns. It's AFR.
AFR.
Watermark Renaissance, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, 2 great hotel properties in Baton Rouge. Of course, the Watermark voted by you, the best hotel in the Best of 225 Awards Renaissance. This Friday is where the LSU Tigers will be. They're home away from home on the Friday before every home game. They're right there. It's where LSU sets up shop at Renaissance Baton Rouge. So you need to host your event. Why not go to the place that LSU football trusts for the Friday before home games? I mean, look, they can't be staying on campus because, it's a madhouse. So they get them away. They go to Renaissance. They have team meetings there. They have their team meals in the big grand ballroom. They can host 500 people. That's where they set up the tables for all the team meals. They have the other rooms for breakout rooms for position group meetings. Point is, no matter what size group you have or what event you have coming up, their space at Renaissance Baton Rouge can accommodate you. So call Allison Crump today over at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool.
first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
LSU's defense is finally back. We've been waiting for this Blake Baker defense to show what they could do. Last year, they struggled about middle of the pack, especially when it came to stopping the run. But this year, they were able to be dominant, specifically Harold Perkins Jr. You saw him all over the field, specifically a critical fourth down play to win the game where he sacked Cade Klubnik at the end of the game. Harold Perkins Jr. has played a couple different positions, on the ball linebacker, off the ball, but finally they found a spot for him to thrive, and that's what stands out for me. Not just Garrett Nussmeier on offense, but Harold Perkins Jr. on defense.
That's Sam Acho. Perkins, just point of clarification, Perkins didn't sack Klubnik at the end of the game. He did have a sack near the goal line when they were first and goal from the 4, the 10-yard loss where Klubnik, it looked like he got the pass off. Then on review, his knee was down. Well, they didn't review it, but we later noticed like his knee was down when he threw that ball, so it was a loss of 10. That went down as a sack for Perkins. It was amazing to see Harold Perkins running around out there, looking like the Harold Perkins that we saw in his freshman year. And I know I've mentioned this before, but you look statistically, Perkins in 2020, and I will die on this hill. Perkins in 2023 was a good player for LSU. They tried to make him an off-ball linebacker at the start of the season. He got caught up in the wash against Florida State. They moved him to that nickel Sam role, and he stuffed the stat sheet. He had 13 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. He had 6 passes defended, had an interception. He had 75 tackles. He was all over the field. It was just an atrocious defense. So even if Harold Perkins made a play, it just sort of went unnoticed because you'd put a team behind the sticks and they'd convert 3rd and 18 because LSU's defense was the worst ever that year. And then last year, of course, he was injured. So on this defense in particular, with so much talent everywhere, and especially the ability to cover in the back end, it frees up Harold Perkins to be the version of himself that we know he can be. How impactful was that, man? Like, you know, we saw him blitz, obviously, and bring the pressure. He got the sack. Whenever Cade Klubnik, you know, one of the adjustments Garrett Riley made was Cade Klubnik running the football. As soon as they started that, I mean, just fanned that out in a hurry with Perkins spying him, and that ended in a hurry. Just so impressive and so fun to see Harold Perkins. Brian Kelly, after the game, was asked specifically about Harold Perkins and the key for him being so effective in this game. You know, BK talked about it after.
Harold is coming on. I mean, you know, he's healthy. He's at a position that has been one where he's had success, and Blake can utilize him now as the player that he is. As you saw, he pressured the quarterback a lot. That allows you got to play some man-to-man. We weren't in that position last year to play a lot of man. And of course, we lost him to the knee injury. So it's just a different roster with different players, and it allows Blake now the tools necessary to utilize Harold in the manner that he can best impact the game.
Now, what's worth noting is that they did throw at Harold Perkins 3 times, and all 3 passes were caught. But he had 3 pressures, a sack, a quarterback hit, another quarterback hurry, 4 tackles in the ball game. And, of course, what Sam Acho was talking about was on that last play, the heave that was incomplete by Cade Klubnik on the 4th down play. That was Perkins pressuring Klubnik on that play, which forced the errant throw. So Perkins was awesome in this game. And naturally, something we're going to do every Monday here is we're going to look at Pro Football Focus grades. Naturally, Perkins was one of the standouts. I want to look at offense, defense, what was good, what was bad. Since we're talking defense, let's start there. Your top 5 graded players from Pro Football Focus were Mansour Delane, Patrick Payton, Bernard Gooden, A.J. Halsey, and then Harold Perkins was 5. What stands out about the first 4? Delane, Payton, Gooden, Halsey. 4 transfers. I mean, you go and spend the money LSU did to add not just bodies, but veteran dudes with skins on the wall. That's what it's like. I mean, Montour Delane had the interception in the game. He made 2 tackles. He was targeted 8 times. They had 1 catch against him. Of course, we mentioned he had the interception. He graded out an 81.3. He was incredible. He will be your number 1 corner. Someone asked me last week when Halsey was suspended, do I think they might move Delane to safety? And the answer was absolutely not, because he's your best corner. And he showed why. Patrick Payton, first play of the game, he deflects the ball at the line of scrimmage. On the interception by Montour Delane, it was Payton providing pressure that caused Klubnik to sail the football. Bernard Gooden didn't stuff the stat sheet. He only had 2 tackles in the game, but he was, he had 4 quarterback. He had 2 tackles. He had 4 quarterback hurries in this game. Like, what was the thing we talked about with Bernard Gooden all offseason, all fall camp? That first quick step, his ability to get penetration up the middle. Dude had 4 quarterback hurries in 39 snaps. That's the other thing that shouldn't be overlooked about this game. LSU defensively played 58 snaps. Look at the rotation specifically on the defensive line. Remember, 58 snaps as a defense. Payton played 39. Gooden played 39. Dom McKinley played 24. Jamari Butler played 19. Pyburn played 39. Ahmad Bro played 17. Gabe Relaford played 20. Guillory played 27. You see my point? The point is, no one has to be out there. Like, God bless Gio Paez last year, never came off the field. And he was an undersized nose. Now, you don't have anybody who played 40 snaps. I mean, Payton, Gooden, and Pyburn all played 39. That's the most the most snaps you had from a defensive lineman. It was fantastic to see. I'd also be remiss if I didn't point out DJ Pickett. I mentioned the top 5. 6 on that list was Pickett. And when you have a true freshman cornerback and nobody even noticed he was on the field, generally a good thing. DJ Pickett played 25 snaps in the ball game. He had a 67.5 grade. His tackling grade was a 73. His coverage grade was a 67. They targeted him just once. He did not allow a completion. I mean, that's what happens when you're a tarantula draped all over a receiver. They look your way and they don't throw it toward the 6'5 guy that can turn and run and cover. So great debut for DJ Pickett. Expect his role just to continue to increase. When you look at the bottom 5, it's hard to complain about anything defensively because they were all the defense was so awesome. But your bottom 5, lowest graded player was Tamarcus Cooley, Javen Toviano, Jacobian Guillory, West Weeks, and Gabe Relaford. That was your bottom 5. But none of them were awful. I mean, what Cooley got hit with was he was targeted 3 times and gave up 3 receptions. And when you're a defensive back and you're targeted 3 times, you give up 3 receptions, that's going to be part of it. As far as but the thing that was, I think, also notable about Cooley was his versatility. He played 5 snaps in the box, 28 at free safety, 24 in the slot. They moved him all over. He had 1 body slam tackle, which was great. Love to see the physicality. Somebody's got to be at the bottom of the list. It just so happened that it was Tamarcus Cooley, but I don't think anybody on this defense played poorly. It would be hard to find fault with anything anybody did on the defensive side of the ball. If you flip it over to offense, your top 5 offensively were Aaron Anderson, Garrett Nussmeier, Braylon Moore, Caden Durham, Trey'Dez Green. Anderson obviously was fantastic in this football game. He was targeted, Aaron Anderson made 6 catches with 56 yards after the catch. Of course, the big 39-yard catch and run was massive on the 1st and 20. 5 of his 6 catches converted first downs. He was really good, and that's what started to loosen up the game when LSU and Joe Sloan made that adjustment in the short passing game, and Aaron Anderson was the beneficiary. Garrett Nussmeier was awesome. He did not have a single turnover-worthy play offensively. He didn't need to go throw for 350, 400 yards in this ball game. You needed Garrett Nussmeier to be efficient, protect the football, get you into the right running plays. He did all of those things. Nuss even converted 3 first downs with his feet. The 3rd highest rated player, as you mentioned, was Braylon Moore. One of the things that absolutely jumps off the page when you look at these Pro Football Focus numbers from Saturday. When you look at the blocking grades, you had 3 players with a pass blocking grade in the 80s. Braylon Moore had an 85. Josh Thompson had an 84. Paul Mabenga had an 81. That's your your center and your 2 guards. Your center and your 2 guards all had pass blocking grades in the 80s. The big concern about blowing up the launch pad where last year DJ Chester was such a liability in the middle, and when Garrett Dellinger got hurt, you had Mabenga at left guard. Like, that was a problem for this offensive line a year ago. To have Moore, Thompson, the reason you went and got Moore and Thompson, 2 veteran players who were 2-year starters in the Power 4, was because of this. They were going to be able to go on the road in front of that defense with All-Americans like Woods and Parker and Helt and not be intimidated or moved by the environment or anything they saw because they're super experienced players. From the first day of fall camp, Braylon Moore was installed as the center. Brian Kelly said it in the media availability after that first practice that Braylon Moore was going to be their center. They never moved off of that, and you were rewarded by it. I also found it interesting that they gave a lot of help to the tackles. Donovan Green was in on 8 snaps. Nick Anderson played 24. Nick Anderson played 24 snaps. Whenever, I guess we should mention, the one injury in the game was Destin Hill. Destin Hill got the start and only played. Destin Hill played 2 snaps and then got hurt. Was told it was an upper body injury. Don't know what it was, but then he came out. So Nick Anderson ended up playing that role. And of his 24 snaps, 13 of them were run blocking. And you had, forgive me, y'all, I'm toggling here, trying to get everything here. But sorry, my apologies. I'm toggling back and forth on this page. But anyway, the point is, Nick Anderson was blocking a lot. You had Nick Anderson blocking. You had Donovan Green, Bauer Sharp, and Caden Durham combined to pass protect on about half of Garrett Nussmeier's passing attempts, which goes to tell you they were giving the tackles help, which they needed. But all in all, I thought the offensive line held up remarkably well in the football game. The bottom 5, Chris Hilton was your lowest rated player. Then Bauer Sharp, Weston Davis, Nick Anderson, and Paul Mabenga. Yes, it's disappointing that in the bottom 5, you had 2 of your starting offensive linemen with Davis and Mabenga. But as we talked about, Mabenga's pass blocking grade was outstanding with an 81. He just wasn't very good run blocking. I mean, the first play of the game, they ran behind Mabenga on the left side. Play almost got blown up. Caden Durham broke a tackle, went back around to the right side and ran for 24 yards. Bauer Sharp is down at the bottom. He gets dinged for the fumble, which Pro Football Focus will ding you for that. That's why he's so low, but he was fine. Bauer Sharp's pass blocking grade was a 74. His run blocking grade was a 58. That's got to get better, but he was fine. The issue with Sharp was the fumble. Chris Hilton's grade, I'm just not worried about. Like it just wasn't his day. When you're this deep at receiver, and I asked Garrett Nussmeier this question at media days. I asked Joe Sloan this question when we had media availability with him in fall camp. Like some version of when you have this many weapons, how do you keep everybody happy? And on Saturday, 6 different players ran the football and 9 different players caught a pass. So I think they did a good job of spreading it around, but there's going to be days where it's just not Chris Hilton's day. And this was one of those days where, because LSU was respectful of Clemson's pass rush, they just didn't throw vertical routes very often. I mean, they threw the one to Darian Brown that you got a touchdown robbed from you, but it just wasn't Chris Hilton's day. This was Aaron Anderson. This was Avion Thomas. This was Juwan Johnson in the flat. This was Bauer Sharp. This was a day where, throwing the football at or near the line of scrimmage was going to be more, paramount, in the game. For Garrett Nussmeier, there were 3 shots that went beyond 20 yards in the air. 3. The whole game. They lived within 10 yards. It was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 27 of Garrett Nussmeier's passes were traveled inside of 10 yards. 27 of his, 39 attempts? So the point is, this was just a game where it wasn't Chris Hilton's game. Louisiana Tech, when you're not as worried about the pass rush, this could be a big week this week for Chris Hilton. There's going to be other days like that, but these guys are just going to have to be patient because everybody can't eat every Saturday. You're going to have to pick your spots. I'm not worried about Chris Hilton. He'll be fine. It just wasn't his day on Saturday. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us. We are going to talk. We'll do the Pro Football Focus recap every Monday. I always say about PFF, it's not the metric, it's a metric. It's just something to consider. And generally, when we all are watching the game, we look at the ball. We're looking at whoever has the ball in their hand and where the ball's going. Pro Football Focus looks at everything. So a lot of times it'll encompass things, snap counts, formations, different things that maybe we're not paying attention to while we're watching. It's why I like to pay a little attention to it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone. Hey, tomorrow, September the 2nd, the Louisiana Department of Insurance is opening up the next round of grants for fortified roofing. If you're not familiar, a fortified roof it's an extra layer of protection designed to prevent water intrusion. So wind blows, knocks off shingles, you have roof damage. It adds an extra layer of protection to prevent water from getting into your home, which of course then creates even bigger issues when you get water in your house, your sheetrock, on the contents of your home. Then you have a big mess. So LDI is offering $510,000 grants for fortified roof. This session is available to the coastal areas and parts of southwest Louisiana. You go to the Louisiana Department of Insurance's website to find out more information about it, how you can apply. It is a lottery system, but there is a line where you can choose your preferred contractor, and Parish Construction and Roofing is a certified fortified roofing company. We were actually the first certified fortified roofing company in the state of Louisiana. So Louisiana-based, I should say, the first Louisiana-based certified fortified roofing company. So we'd love the opportunity. If you're going to apply for that grant, choose Parish Construction Roofing as your roofing contractor of choice. Parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Usually do Tigers and the Pros here in about a dozen minutes from right now. The Saints cut a former All-Pro today. I want to talk about that as we continue on AFR.
After Further Review.
You might have noticed that when the Tigers beat the other Tigers on Saturday, Trey'Dez Green caught the game-winning touchdown pass. Well, very happy to announce that Trey'Dez Green is now a partner with Duplessis Builders. I keep telling you all the time, man. The guy Derek Duplessis, proud LSU alum, mechanical engineering with a minor in aerospace engineering, but that he's going to build you a beautiful pool. Tell you all the time, he gives you the 10-year workmanship warranty, but they also support the Tigers. And so when you call Duplessis, you're supporting the Tigers. I did an NIL shoot with Duplessis a few weeks back where we're talking to three of the biggest recruits in this class: Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, Bryson Martinez. Well, Trey'Dez Green is now on the Duplessis team as well. So be on the lookout for more content with Trey'Dez Green in it, and be sure to support Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
The Kellen Moore era will open Sunday in the Dome against Arizona. Saints are a 6.5-point underdog in that game. Ellen Moore opened up the week with some surprising news, man. The Saints cut JT Gray today. JT Gray is a former All-Pro special teamer. He was a first-team All-Pro special teamer and a second-team All-Pro special teamer. And he's been the special teams captain for the New Orleans Saints. And he's a backup safety on the team who's been with the team since he signed as a UDFA back in 2018. So he's entering his 8th NFL season, and I guess this just came out of nowhere. I'd like to congratulate the Denver Broncos because they're about to get a former All-Pro special teamer because that's just what Sean Payton does. By the way, hat tip, Nick Underhill was the first to report it. Kellen Moore, after practice, when he met with reporters, talked about the decision, or I shouldn't say after practice, in his meeting with reporters on Mondays, talked about the decision to release JT Gray.
A lot of this comes down to the roster flexibility, and that's the challenging part of it. We know the high-quality player that he is, the impact he's had on this organization. He's a really good player. Just with the roster as you kind of play the roster management part of this thing over the course of, this season and throughout the next few weeks, there's a lot of challenges associated with that. And so it was a really tough one for us to do.
Moore was non-committal about whether or not Gray could return on the practice squad. He was asked if they would call someone up for a JT Gray spot. Here's what he said.
We're kind of in the moving a few pieces around, and so obviously we'll probably make some corresponding moves. And, I think a part of this is just there's a lot of moves that you kind of have to navigate the first few weeks of the season. And we have some, guys on PUP and some guys on IR that certainly we anticipate eventually, being a part of this thing. And so you got to have the roster flexibility just to navigate all these moving pieces.
They did add, and by the way, all this news is at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read up on all of it. The JT Gray piece, the Saints did add 2 players today. Defensive tackle Keziah Izzard has been added to the practice squad, and outside linebacker pass rusher Iku Leota has also been added to the practice squad. I don't know if either of those guys necessarily fills the void from JT Gray as a special teamer, but remember, these are practice squad ads. These are not active roster ads. JT Gray was on the 53-man active roster, so they're either going to have to sign a free agent to their active roster or sign someone from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. So what direction they go, we'll have to wait and see what they do. But this is one I certainly did not see coming because you just haven't seen any kind of drop-off in JT Gray's play. And the leadership is another thing that's so important as you're trying to tie these two eras together, right? You have the sort of Peyton, Dennis Allen era guys bridging with the new guys coming in with Kellen Moore. And I can certainly appreciate Moore wanting to bring in his own guys, but there are dudes like Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, Eric McCoy, guys that are veterans on this football team that are key glue guys. And JT Gray certainly seemed to be that guy on special teams. I mean, he's a special teams captain. So that's not an easy one to fill. My hope is this is an opportunity to get younger. You know, maybe a young guy like Jordan Howden, who you used a fifth-round draft pick on a couple of years ago, who hasn't been able to wrangle a starting spot in the secondary. Obviously, you went and spent in free agency this year, and you drafted Jonas Sanker. You brought in Reed. Maybe that's a spot where someone like Howden can earn a role. I don't know. I'm just throwing his name out there. I don't know definitively that'd be the guy. I'm just giving you a for instance. But my hope is you take a guy that's entering his 8th year in JT Gray, and in cutting him, you get younger. But it is so interesting. You know, you look at this team and you wonder, are they really trying to win? Not adding a veteran quarterback, riding with these two young guys. You're going to play two young tackles. You really don't have an answer at corner opposite Kool-Aid and McKinstry. I mean, is Isaac Yadam really that guy? Now you take a veteran and JT Gray and you show him the door. It's interesting, to say the least, the approach. This is just not one that I would have anticipated seeing today. All right, it is After Further Review. We are brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Natural artesian water, a healthier alternative, and a Louisiana product. Find Evamore at great local retailers. If they don't have Evamore where you shop, ask them why not. It's a Louisiana product. Again, it's from these ancient underground aquifers. This is something that never touches air until you uncap it and take that first delicious sip. It's piped straight out of that well into their bottling plant. The only thing that's filtered out is just the sediment from the ground. There's nothing added, nothing taken away. It's Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com. That's Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. One other thing with the New Orleans Saints as they get ready for their opener that's absolutely disgusting is they are going to open up the Kellen Moore era in absolutely hideous fashion. And I mean that in a literal sense, hideous fashion. The Saints are going to wear their new alternate gold jerseys week 1 against Arizona. So they're going to open up the home season by wearing those awful black helmets, the gaudy gold, and black pants. I'm not sure there is a worse combination, literally, in the NFL than what we're going to see the New Orleans Saints wear on Sunday. So you cut an all-pro special teamer and a team captain and decide you're going to wear literally the ugliest uniform in the NFL in week 1. Go get them. No way to drum up excitement like, hey, if the old adage is look good, play good, you look like crap, you play like crap, I think we're going to expect that from New Orleans on Sunday. It's After Further Review presented by Relief Windows. We'll wrap up hour number 2. Musso will have Tigers and the Pros next.
After Further Review.
So today's a holiday, right? If you're at home, 89 degrees right now, and your AC's not pumping cold air, don't wait till tomorrow. Call River City's 1-hour air right now. So I tell you all the time, nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out. Because when it's 100 degrees, heat index plus in Louisiana in the summer, you can't go without having air conditioning. And River City's 1-hour air knows that. So they'll always come out, nights, holidays, weekends. If you've got an issue with your AC, call 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. They're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. And when that technician comes to your house, they're never going to try to upsell you. They're never going to force service on you don't need. They're going to give you all of your options, and you decide what's best for your family and your budget. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2, Monday shows. We appreciate so much Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Wishing you and everyone a very happy Labor Day. But we're always happy to work on Labor Day because it means college football has started, and especially this Labor Day because LSU won. And it is a wonderful, wonderful time to come do this show on a Monday on Labor Day after a win, which we've not been able to do for the last 5 years. Right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, Paul Skeens took the mound over the weekend, and he was awesome. Yet again, 6 innings, an earned run, punched out 6. He got the win. He's now 9-9. Paul Skeens officially at 500. Look,
all right.
We have a month left.
All
we have
right.
a month left in the regular
Don't go
season.
screw it up for him, Pirates.
Like, if they can't get him above 500 with a month left.
Has there been a Cy Young winner with a losing record?
I'd have to look that up. I do not know it off the top of my head. But Skeens was awesome. He's at 9-9. We'll see if they can continue. Kevin Gausman also took the mound over the weekend, and he was incredible. 7 innings, an earned run, no walks, 8 punch-outs. He got the Paul Skeens treatment, though. The Blue Jays only scored 1 run, and he got a no decision. Sorry about that, Kevo, but good outing nonetheless.
Eric Gagne.
He didn't stink.
Well, he was a reliever.
Yeah.
So, he was 3 and 4. It's really, you only get. I mean, it's rare that a reliever is going to get
the Cy Young
get a decision. So that's why 120 ERA with 55 saves. Eric Gagne won it back in 2003 with a losing record. But no starting pitcher has ever won the Cy Young with a losing.
Paul Skeens could be the first, but we're hoping he gets above 500. Give me 10 and 9. Give me 10 and 9. Jaden Hill on the bump.
I kind of want to see him have a losing.
Oh, come on! There's plenty of time for that. He's under team control forever. Jaden Hill shut out an inning of relief with a strikeout. He got a hold, his first of the season. Limited time at the big club, but he's been really good, a 3.86 ERA. Josh Smith on the Sunday. Yeah. This is a big one. 2 for 2 for Smith, his 22nd double of the season. Also drove in a run, 3 walks. He was on base every single time he went to the plate. Came around to score twice. Jake Fraley in a pinch hit role for the Atlanta Braves on Sunday. 2 for 2 himself. Both of those were singles. He would come around to score a run. Since joining the Atlanta Braves, Fraley's hitting .556.
Hey.
Change of scenery. It does guys well, yeah. Angel Reese on Sunday, a double-double, 20 points, 7 of 12 from the field, 10 rebounds. How's that for a double-double? Really, really solid there. And the Chicago Sky lost again because they stink. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. You know, at Lee Michaels, something I probably should stress even more is that they have more industry-educated associates throughout the state than any other jeweler. So when you go to Lee Michaels, you can go and learn what makes a diamond a diamond. What characteristics are you looking for? What makes someone say, wow, that's beautiful? And you never have to feel the pressure to buy today at Lee Michaels. You want to go try on 1,000 different pieces of jewelry? Go do it. They're never going to pressure you. Buying a beautiful piece of jewelry should be a wonderful experience. Something, the experience and the jewelry, something that you and your family will cherish forever and for generations. They want the experience of buying that piece of jewelry to be just as wonderful. That's why they call it the Lee Michaels experience. Learn more at lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Find the location nearest you, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, it is after further review. I want to get Ross Jackson in here so we can go through all the Saints news today. We haven't talked yet about the Bama thing. Bama lost to Florida State. I might have some. We'll see if we can do it. We'll see. We'll see if we can get to it.
AFR.
Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. I know so many of you right now are getting ready for deer season. And so many of you right now are dreading that you have to share a lease. I know, I don't hunt. Y'all know that I don't hunt, but I know a lot of you do. What if next year you're hunting on your own lease, your own property? You can do it. First South Farm Credit can help. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Not only will your own property give you, the opportunity to freedom to hunt on your own property, but land could also be tax deductible. You incur expenses. Ask your CPA the benefits of owning recreational timber land. First South Farm Credit can help. FirstSouthLand.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is Sports Center.
Schefter. Parsons has been participating this week and is trying to play, but one source told Shefty it is not certain that he will. If he is on the field, ESPN host Byron Metcalf says he doesn't have to be a leader.
When you hear a guy like that talk about he's always on go, you can't be in the room with him unless you're the same way. He's a 26-year-old who might be the best defensive player in the league. I expect a dude in that position to have that confidence to talk like that way. But I think anyone concerned about, okay, how does that translate to the Green Bay Packers? Courtney, he's not their quarterback. No one's asking him to lead this team. They want him to be a great defensive playmaker who changes that side of the ball.
Heard on ESPN Radio is on Sportsmanlike. And Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, who missed time with an aggravated disc in his back, is expected to start the season opener against the Texans, according to head coach Sean McVay. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick returned to the sidelines for his first stint as a college head coach, as his North Carolina Tar Heels host TCU, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up on Unsportsmanlike, Week 1 of the NFL season is finally here. Will the Eagles repeat, or will the competition in the NFC be too fierce? We'll discuss it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
remind you yet again what time it is. It's been a year and a half. A year and a half since the greatest coach of all time walked away. And I sat right here at this microphone and told you, welcome to your new reality. I told you the days of waking up on a Saturday morning, stress-free, running roughshod over everybody, were done. And what did you say to me? Called me names. You laughed and mocked and jeered. You talked about my mom and them. You talked about my wife, my son. Oh, I see it all. I see it all. Which is why every opportunity I have to take your nose and rub it in cap hoop, I'm going to do it with glee. Tommy Castellanos. Tommy Castellanos. That little 5'0", 100 Boston College transfer talked his ish and backed it up. You let Tommy Castellanos lead an offense that ran for 230 yards straight up your donkey. Florida State? 2-10 a year ago? Ran for 230 on vaunted Alabama. Oh, let it burn. Did you see what Florida State defensively did? Alabama ran for 87 yards. The fewest yards rushing for an Alabama offense since 1975. 50 years, half a century. Nick Saban was still wearing them Coke bottle glasses and had long hair. This spear is hurting my arm. I'm gonna put it down. But I ain't done. All off season, I heard about this vaunted Alabama offensive line. Caden Proctor went to Iowa, came back, All-American. Formby and all them dudes. Little old Florida State. 3 sacks, 7 TFLs, 5 passes defense. What happened to that vaunted offensive line for the Crimson Tide? What happened to your former 5-star quarterback, Ty Simpson? Got their ass run over in Tallahassee by a 2-10 Florida State team. I'm watching College Game Day on Saturday, and you know what I heard? I heard Nick Saban, the greatest coach of all time, insist that Alabama's culture under Kalen DeBoer was so much better. Don't believe me? Listen to the GOAT.
I've been around the team a little bit this year at Alabama. I went to practice. I see a different culture in the team. There were so many changes last year, new coaches, players leaving, players coming. They didn't have anybody get in the portal.
Culture. Culture. I saw players dancing on TikTok in the locker room after the loss. Culture. I saw some goofball with fingernail polish carrying a teddy bear walking into the stadium. Culture. You think Nick Saban would allow that? Hell no, he wouldn't. You know who would? Yo, Elmer Fudd looking, too tight, dry fit t-shirt wearing gump of a coach. This ain't Fresno State, baby. This ain't Washington up in the Pac-10, 12-2, whatever you want to call it. Welcome to the SEC, or better yet, a team that gets their ass kicked by a week-old 2-10 ACC team, letting Danny Cannell talk his ish. And you know what? I love the fact that you chumps have to listen to it. Y'all know the count? You know the count. 5-5 in his last 10. 1-3 in their last 4. 4 losses as a double-digit favorite. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nick Saban did that one time in 17 years. First season against ULM. Oh, by the way, who y'all play this week? Don't you go losing to ULM. First season opening loss since 2001. First time Alabama's been sub 500 at any point in the season since 2006. 54-game winning streak against unranked non-conference opponents. Gone. Why? Kalen DeBose. Elmer Fudd. The king of the Gumps. The man who the second he was hired set that ablaze. This wasn't Ohio State. This wasn't Michigan. This wasn't Georgia, Clemson, LSU, Auburn. This was a 2-10 Florida State team with a Boston College transfer at quarterback that ran your ass straight over and into the ground, into the soggy turf at Doak Campbell. And I got news. Come close. Come close. I got news. Come close. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. You may have good athletes on the outside. That's only gonna get you so far. When Florida State is kicking your ass up and down the field in the trenches, 230 rush yards to 87. What do you think Georgia's gonna do? What do you think old Rex Specs is gonna do? He damn near beat you in your own building last year when he couldn't hit water falling out of a boat. What do you think LSU is gonna do with that defense that just put Clemson in a 3-hour chokehold in their building? Ole Miss, Auburn, Missouri might beat your ass. You can't go on the road and beat Florida State? Como might be a house of horrors. Oh, and you got to tangle with Diego Pavia as well. Forget what he did to your ass last year. I'll tell you, I was wrong about something. I was wrong about something. Not about your charmed existence being over. That was as easy to predict as the sun rising today. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong about hiring Kalen DeBose. Nailed that. I was wrong about one thing. I picked you 9-3. I might have been too generous. And every one of you today knows what I'm saying now and what I've been saying since the day Nick Saban left is gospel truth. And every single night when you lay your head on that little crimson pillow and cry your tear, the last voice that's going to be ringing in your brain is mine. Like I've been telling you for a year and a half. Welcome to your new reality. I told you. My ass was going to be on a white horse dressed up like Chief Osceola, throwing a spear in the ground. I lived up to it today. Don't you go lose to ULM. We just might see how I might fly like a war hawk on Monday. It's
AFR.
Right about Goodwood, men's sexual wellness. Feel really good about that right there. Laying the wood to Alabama. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. Get to the website. It's a great place to start. Told you for a long time now. Yes, they do ED treatments. They do so much more at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Hormone replacement therapy. There went my spear. There's a Goodwood pun in there, isn't there? Something like that. My spear just fell over. Greatest live read ever. Peptides. Man, you want to give BPC 157 a shot? You've heard me talk about it. Maybe you got an injury you're struggling to recover from, shoulder, back, knee, pain. BPC 157 could be the magic formula to get you through that injury. Learn more, YourGoodwood.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit YourGoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Newsy day as Kellen Moore begins and enters his first game week as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net, Locked On Saints, here to kind of give us the roundup. Yo, man, thanks for the time. How are you?
Hey, man, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's start with maybe what seems like the most significant news and really surprising. The Saints cut JT Gray today. Why?
Yeah, pretty surprising move. I mean, I have a couple of sort of hypotheses around this, but not really anything solid. I just think that the Saints kind of just felt like it was time to move on there. But look, I think that we've seen from the Saints so far a bit of a focus on getting younger. So that's one box checked. Another thing is that this team has not been shy about moving on from players of the previous regime. You think about Isaiah Foskey not re-signing Peyton Turner, recently moving on from other pieces. So, the Saints have not sort of had any loyalty really for those guys that have been around for some time. But the other thing that I think is very possible here is that the Saints just aren't really in a situation to where they feel like they can hold on to roster spots for guys that will only be able to contribute in a singular way, or guys that will only be able to contribute on special teams. Not to reduce what JT Gray has done, but JT Gray is not somebody that typically gets put out on the defensive side of the football, right? But he's also a two-time second-team All-Pro, one-time first-team All-Pro just a few years ago. So not trying to discount anything about what it is that he's achieved throughout his career here in New Orleans. He's had a fantastic career and will continue to have one, I'm sure, in Denver or something, if that's where he ends up with reuniting with Darren Rizzi. But I could see the Saints sort of going into the season in sort of this retool and saying, you know what, we need these roster spots for guys that are going to be able to contribute in multiple ways, not just on special teams. And so I could see a guy like Terrell Burgess, for instance, being brought up from the practice squad who they could rely on the defensive side and also could contribute on special teams. It's a little bit of a negotiation thing, but maybe that had something to do with it.
Okay, so JT Gray had a 53-man roster spot. Who's going to take this spot now?
Yeah, that's where I imagine Terrell Burgess comes in.
Okay.
You have, some of these other younger safeties that you have. But look, Terrell Burgess is a Brandon Staley guy through and through, and also was a big-time special teams player throughout his career, both for the Rams as well as for the Washington Commanders. So I could absolutely see Terrell Burgess, if he's healthy and ready to come up, being a guy that gets added to the practice squad from the practice squad immediately from that safety position. Saints have also added 3 players to their practice squad where they only had 2 spots open, so it makes sense that they're just looking to elevate somebody from there to their 53.
Okay, that's one piece of news. The Saints have also signed a couple of players and worked out a few more players. Let's talk with the 2 guys that have been added to the practice squad. Defensive tackle Keziah Izzard, fill us in. Who is he and why is this significant?
Yeah, so he is a 6'3", 300-pound defensive tackle that was a fantastic run stopper over at Penn State. He came as an undrafted free agent, spent some time here in the league with the Kansas City Chiefs over the course of the preseason. He was a big reason why Penn State was able to shut down some of those big running games and during the college playoffs last year. He's just a big, super athletic guy that is very, very hard to move off of his spot, or was at the collegiate level. I think he's got some development, of course, to do in order to be able to kind of have that same impact in the pros. But the Saints didn't have anybody like him on their practice squad. They had Jonah Williams, who was the only other defensive tackle or interior defender on the practice squad. But he's not as much of a run stuffer as he is kind of a 3-4 defensive end type. And so this gives the Saints a little bit more of that prototype stuff up the middle of the run game kind of defensive tackle on their practice squad.
Okay, what about outside linebacker Iku Leota?
Yeah, this is a guy that I really like. 6'4", 250. He's kind of that quintessential speed pass rusher type. And the Saints kind of add him and Fadil Diggs now both on the practice squad. The Saints got really well introduced to Leota last year during the Week 1 game between the Saints and the Carolina Panthers. He was a member of the Panthers. He had 1 sack on Derek Carr as well as 3 tackles for a loss and a hit on the quarterback. So not super surprising to see him be a guy that was on the Saints' radar. He also spent some time with the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, so he developed a little bit more as a pass rusher on their practice squad behind some really, really good pass rushers there. So the Saints get another young talent to bring into their practice squad to help out from a depth perspective.
Ross Jackson's with us on Twitter at RossJacksonNola, LouisianaSports.net, Locked On Saints. Let's start with a couple of guys other guys they've added and have worked out. Trey Palmer is in New Orleans now, back home, I guess, in the New Orleans area. Where might he fit in this receiver group?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think it grows over the course of the season. He's currently on the active roster. That's part of the picking somebody up from waivers. They have to go to your active roster in that case. And so he brings more speed to this wide receiver room that's already brimming with speed when it comes to that room so far. You've got 3 guys that have run a 4.33. You got another guy in Chris Olave that ran a 4.39. You had another guy in Rashid Shaheed who never ran a 40, but with his 10.07 second 100 meter dash or 100 meter time, you could see him as a 4.3, 4.2 speed guy. He's a really, really fast player, as we all know. And so I think that you just add another, piece to that wide receiver room. And Trey Palmer did really well in terms of transitioning to the NFL. He was a bit of an impact player when needed for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so the Saints went from having a really questionable wide receiver room, now having added Devon Vele and now Trey Palmer to make that room a little bit stronger.
Okay, I know they've worked out a couple of other players. Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, they've worked out. Can you kind of give us the update on him as a prospect? If we know how that went, might he actually be added? What's the latest there?
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be added, at least as of right now. The Saints actually added a third player today, a second player from that tryout list, in former Montana State quarterback Tommy Mellott, who is a guy that transitioned from quarterback to wide receiver in the league with the Las Vegas Raiders. This just happened not too long ago. Okay. And so the big comparison for Mellott is Taysom Hill. They're not nearly the same size as one another, but Taysom ran a 4.44 second 40-yard dash. Mellott was a 4.39 at quarterback. Taysom Hill was a 38.5-inch vertical leap. Mellott was a 41-inch vertical leap, and then 10.2 broad jump for Hill, 10.4 broad jump for Mellott. So you have this really interesting player that's now being added to the Saints practice squad. That's probably going to be that Terrell Burgess spot that opens up, if it is Terrell Burgess that moves up. But Mellott comes in and has an arm, he can run, and he is cross-trained as a wide receiver as well. So a really intriguing guy to watch. I'm not going to sit out here and say that he's Taysom Hill or even Taysom Hill 2.0. I think Taysom Hill is who he is because no one else is like him. But, boy, you talk about a guy that brings some of those quote-unquote superpowers that Kellen Moore really likes. Mellott's a guy to watch out for, so I'll be very interested to see where things go with him. I think because of that signing, I'm not expecting anything to really move with the Brendan Rice tryout at this time, but definitely a name to watch out for if the Saints end up needing some help at wide receiver later on. Although, of course, look, this has been a busy day. Who's to say that they're done making news just yet?
Yeah. Look, I mean, the Saints tried to find Taysom Hill 2.0 with Tommy Stevens. That went belly up. So be careful thinking you're going to find the next version of. But do you think, Ross, that there is we've become so accustomed to the quote-unquote Taysom Hill role for 8 years now. But that was Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael. This is a totally new staff altogether. Is there a quote-unquote Taysom Hill role in this offense? Do we know? Do we think? Has anyone asked Kellen Moore that?
Yes, Kellen Moore has spoken about it. He very much believes in what it is. It seems, let me say it that way, that he very much believes in what it is that Taysom Hill can offer to this team. I've asked him, very overtly whether or not he still sees Taysom Hill as a guy that he would get mixed into, quarterback reps and being able to run sort of those QB powers and things like that. And he very plainly answered yes with that. So I expect that there is something there, assuming that Taysom Hill is healthy at some point this season and ready to go. But if he's not, and the Saints are looking for some of these versatile playmakers that can impact the game from various position groups, you think about Bayless Jones Jr., who can operate as a running back, but also as a wide receiver. Trey Palmer has taken some snaps out of the backfield, but has the versatility to play in the slot and out wide. And then now all of a sudden you add this Tommy Mellott kid who, look, I'm not going to put any expectations on him, but if there's one player at one place that makes you feel like, oh, there could be something there, he is, and this is it. And so if the Saints are looking for players that can have an impact from multiple positions, they have a few options. Not to say that they're really going to find the next Taysom Hill or anything like that, but they have some options to explore with and see what they can get done here.
Are they really wearing the gold jerseys in Kellen Moore's debut?
They absolutely are. That is a big one that apparently I guess I take it from Kellen Moore's presser today that Cam Jordan really had a lot to do with that too. He really wanted to wear these. Wow. And of course, Cam Jordan was a big proponent for having these. It'll be their first gold jersey look since 2002. The last time did not go well for New Orleans. And they're going to be wearing those black helmets to go with those gold jerseys, which they are also 0-4 in. So they're looking for a big-time change of fortune when it comes to these design jerseys.
The old adage, look good, play good. Whatever, like the complete 180 opposite of that is, that's what we're going to see Sunday in the day.
You really do not like these gold jerseys.
Or the black helmets. I mean, the black helmets are an atrocity, and these gold jerseys are just as hideous. And it's even more perplexing, Ross, that this NFL organization can't match the gold colors.
Yeah,
Make it match. What are you doing?
I don't know what that's all about. I feel
it looks like a third grader
folks...
put this together. My special needs child could do a better job with color coordinating this thing.
I feel like a lot of folks always try to pin it on, well, you know, there's color palettes that these, but then you look at all of the collegiate jerseys that Nike has made, and you can't tell me that they can't match gold colors.
It's whatever. I'm gonna watch. I'll hope that they're way better than I think they're going to be, but they're not going to be any better than I think they're going to be.
Does your opinion change if they go like 2-0 in these jerseys this year? Or do you still hate them?
Absolutely not. This is an absolute atrocity. And black and gold, Ross, is a gaudy color scheme. Like, it's ugly. So, and from like my whole life, the Saints really struggled to find apparel even that looked good. And it feels like in the last decade or so, they've sort of simplified. They've gone to more like block lettering. They brought back Sir Saint. You know, you could find just a black polo with Sir Saint on it, or the floor. Like, you'd find things that just make it more modest. It makes it pop. Like, now they're going like 90s Toronto Raptors, 90s Vancouver Grizzlies jerseys is like what they're trying to do here. Like, what is this? What, like, are you just, do they sit in a room? Like, you might be able to answer this, Ross. I mean, you're way closer to it. Do they sit in a room, whoever they are, and think like, okay, what's the ugliest thing we could come up with to try to pass off as cool to see if we can trick people into thinking it looks good? Like, is that how this brainstorming session goes?
I genuinely am not sure how jersey design conversations go. I don't even know if those happen with the team involved or how that happens with you know, the designers and Nike and all these other things. I mean, I'm sure the team is involved in some way.
Yes, absolutely.
But you know what I mean? But I don't know where, you know, who gets the final say in this, that, and the other, and color choice and design, all these other things. I'm not fully sure, but I don't know if anybody is going to put there and say that was my idea, and that might be where the big issue is.
So bad. I mean, whatever. You know, they look like Vanderbilt. They'll probably play like before Pavia Vanderbilt.
Pre-Pavia. Yeah.
Read him at LouisianaSports.net. Listen or watch to Locked On Saints and follow him at Ross Jackson Nola. Thank you.
Thanks, bud. You take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
All right. Be well. I'll try to stay safe to protect myself from myself. We got to watch the Saints team all season. I mean, watching this Saints team this year is going to be bad enough. Like, that's going to be painful enough. Like, watching them in these uniforms it's just amplifying every bit of suck. Why? I mean, I was on TikTok the other day and I had some old, like, late 1980s, like Dome Patrol, Bobby Abe, Eric Martin, Dalton Hilliard era Saints highlights pop into my feed, and I'm like, man, they look good then. You know, the old gold, the big fleur-de-lis on the helmet, the black pants with the stripes down the side. Like, if you're going to wear black, don't wear softball pants. Wear pants like football pants with stripes. Go like white, gold, white stripes down the leg. I mean, it ain't hard. Why do they make it so bad? We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. If I don't stay safe and I need a doctor, I'll go to Our Lady of the Lake. How about that transition? In all seriousness, though, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. If you want to learn more about Our Lady of the Lake and their relationship, their partnership with LSU, you can go to, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. But the other thing that I love to stress is, Our Lady of the Lake, yes, amazing partnership with LSU, their championship health partner. But my goodness, like just this past weekend in Lafayette, the Cajuns opened up Our Lady of Lourdes Field, where the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, FMOL, has supported so many endeavors, not just in Baton Rouge with LSU, but all over the multi-state area that the health system serves. And this year, they're committing to investing $250 million into facility upgrades at many of their different campuses to help continue to improve and increase healthcare in our region. It's championship healthcare. Yes, for the championship athletes at LSU, but also for everyday champions like you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Okay, it is after further review. We're glad you're with us. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We got one more game here in the opening weekend of college football, week 1. It's Bill Belichick's debut for North Carolina against TCU. You got a full slate of Major League Baseball games as well, so we'll see what the Otters got for us. Remember, you can always get Auto Locks for free over at LouisianaSports.net, LouisianaSports.net. Tons of great betting content is always up there over at LouisianaSports.net. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break. Come back. We'll do our college football takeaways from this weekend. Then get to Auto Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you're thinking of buying a home, you need the best. You need Darren James. And if you're not sure how much your home is worth, I got a great idea for you. Agent225.com. Do this. Do it right now. I'm dead serious. Do this. If you're curious, you own a home, you haven't had your home appraised in a while, I'm curious how much my home is worth. You can literally do this in less than 30 seconds. Agent225.com. 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 Right on the homepage, you'll see the little tab that says Home Value. All you do is click that box right there, type in your address, and then boom, you'll in a matter of seconds, it'll pop up your home's appraisal value. So maybe you know what you bought your home for way back when, what your home appraises for now, how much equity you have in your home, how much you could sell it for. You start doing the math, might be a great time to find that new home. Agent225.com, Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James. Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, cruising along here. We're going to do the college football takeaways. I do want you to know that we did Bama's Burning a bit ago. I did find a white horse, and I did ride the white horse, and we're putting together a social media video, which will be up soon on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge platform. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. You'll see the video there. It's already on Instagram. It's uploading to Twitter right now. It'll be on Facebook and TikTok, all the places. So, yes, I did, in fact, get on a white horse as promised. The one thing I did not do was set the spear on fire. Sincerely concerned about maybe spooking a horse that I was about to ride, so I decided not to ignite a flame on the spear. I was actually really concerned about yelling next to the horse and throwing the spear in the ground. That might spook it, but all went well there. But there is video of me in as close as I could get to Osceola, finding the full Chief Osceola outfit was difficult, but anyway, it's posted. You'll see it. Please share it, especially if you have friends, family, or people you hate in Alabama. That would be wonderful. Okay, college football takeaways. Hit it.
Another week in the books. What did we learn about the landscape of college football?
All right, Muse, start us off here.
All right, man, in a weekend full of statement wins, how about Utah with one late at night on Saturday? They were just a 5.5-point favorite against UCLA, and boy, did they blow that out of the water. 43-10. The defense was phenomenal, put Nico in an absolute chokehold. And their quarterback, Devin Dampier, 300 total yards, 3 touchdowns, didn't turn it over. Utah looks for real once again under Kyle Whittingham in the Big 12.
Paulie?
So I looked at the Tennessee-UCLA quote-unquote quarterback trade. Joey Aguilar for Tennessee threw for nearly 250 yards, 3 scores in his debut for Tennessee. The Vols got a nice win over Syracuse. Nico, not on the other hand, 136, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. UCLA got blown out by Utah.
They got blown out?
Blown out.
Blown out.
Blown out.
Got it. They can blow. Oh, you can blow out. Either way. I just want to give a hat tip to LSU Clemson, Texas Ohio State, Bama Florida State, Notre Dame Miami, for all having the ball sack to go play tough games to open the season. I yell about it all the time. I dream of a day where we have an entire Power 4 schedule made up of nothing but Power 4 games. And it's only going to happen when everyone plays an equitable schedule, but someone has to be willing to step up and start moving in that direction, especially with Indiana a year ago making the playoffs 11-1 and then buying themselves out of a series with Virginia. Like, you want better games. The committee has to reward people for playing tough games. Hopefully that happens at the end of the season, but sincerely hat tip to those teams that had the sack to go do it.
Carson Beck wasn't Georgia's problem last year.
Yeah, he was.
They had a lot of them, as a matter of fact. when you put him with some actually talented receivers, a balanced running game, and a balanced offense, he played pretty darn well a night ago for Miami. 205 yards. The big thing for me, he didn't turn the ball over. No interceptions. That was a bit of an issue for him. But with the balance of the offense, Carson Beck looked like the top prospect that everyone expects him to be. Be curious to watch him the rest of the way. Miami will lose 2 games in November, though, because that's just what crystal ball teams do.
How about Tulane making a good statement on opening weekend? They blew out BYU with transfer quarterback Jake Ratcliffe.
Northwestern.
Yeah, Northwestern. Ratcliffe transferred from BYU to Tulane.
Yes.
Ratcliffe threw for 150 yards, rushed for 100. Tulane making a college football contender.
Retzlaff.
Yeah.
He had a good day.
Not Radcliffe. Retzlaff.
Retzlaff.
Paulie got blowout.
Words.
Paulie got blowout, and there was a quarterback named Ratcliffe. We're going to get it, Paul.
It's week 1 for everybody.
You stop saying you said this cliche. Would everybody calm down about Arch? I mean, I'm floored by the amount of people that were floored by his performance. First real start on the road, 100,000 people, Ohio Stadium. Like, what'd you think was going to happen? Like, that went about how I thought that was going to go. And then they'll play the next 3 are layups, and he's going to go throw for 300 yards in all of them, and they're going to kick the crap out of everybody. And then you get to October, and we'll see how he does. But, like, calm down. Like, what did you think was going to happen in his first start on the road? Like, Nussmeier and LSU went to Clemson and scored 17 points. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go on the road. First start. Like, stop. He's going to be fine.
I really like Iowa State this year. They've impressed me the first 2 weeks. No, I'm serious.
Stop.
Rocco Becht has looked awesome. The win in Ireland's one thing, but to come back the next week in a major trap spot off of an overseas trip with Iowa staring down at you next week, they went out there and just dominated South Dakota. I get it at South Dakota, but it's really the spot. 55-7. They go beat Iowa this weekend, and look out for Matt Campbell's Cyclones.
The Bama is burning real with me on the horse is already popping on Instagram.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Be good.
Oh, man. Twitter's going to go crazy. All right, it's there. It's there. It's on Twitter. Go ahead, Paulie.
All right. So how about Deion Sanders delivering on his promise? He got a porta potty installed on the Colorado sideline. This is, of course, to accommodate his surgery after bladder reconstruction surgery. And how about this? It's actually sponsored by Depend. For those of you,
that's beautiful.
For those of you that don't know, Depend is a disposable underwear company. Also, Colorado lost that game to Georgia Tech.
Muse likes Iowa State. Did you see what happened to K-State?
Ooh, yes, I did.
A lot of people thought K-State was have them installed as the favorite in the Big 12. Now, the Big 12, let's not forget, a year ago, Arizona State was picked last and won the league. The team that was picked first, Utah, finished last. So there's just no really good teams in that league. So you do actually have a tremendous amount of parity. But Kansas State, as Muse mentioned, lost to Iowa State in Ireland, and they almost let that loss beat them again. They played FCS South Dakota, and they were losing 21-17 at half, and then they trailed 35-31 in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, scored like with under 2 minutes to play to take the lead and ultimately hold on, but they were this close to losing to FCS South Dakota, right?
North Dakota. Iowa State played South Dakota.
One of the Dakotas. Like, and not the Bison.
Yeah, no.
Not that, like
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Yeah. I don't even know their mascot.
I don't either.
There's like the Jackrabbits, but that's South Dakota.
Yeah,
or
South Dakota State.
And then there's the Sioux, which I think is South Dakota, USD, or is that North Dakota? Whatever. Point is, this was a team, I don't even know who they are. And they damn near went, I mean, K-State had to get a miracle to win this game. Like, climb it. Check yourself. All right, it's after further review. That's our college football takeaways. I don't see Otterlocks up at Louisiana Sports net yet. So I may have to yell at somebody. And we'll see if Jimmy answers the phone. We might do Out of Locks next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. I tell you every single day over at Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. Hey, listen, if you want to did I say Shawbill's? I'm sorry. I'm looking at Shawbill's on my sheet. I got to do Clegg's. I apologize. Well, they're both great local companies, and they both start with a C. Anyway, Clegg's is awesome. So it's getting to be hunting season. They've got all of your Buckbusters, Mobucks, deer corn, rice bran, and Eric and I were actually looking at this weekend because the weather's still warm and it's still like swim weather, but we have all the spring, summer flowers out. We're about to go over to Clegg's and stock up on all the fall flowers and bedding plants and all that stuff. Your earth tones. We're getting to that time. Y'all, we're into September now. So get on by and see our friends. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing. This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Windows, door siding. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matthew. Happy Labor Day. How are you?
Happy Labor Day. I had a great weekend, man. LSU wins. Bama gets embarrassed by Florida State, and I had a winning weekend already, man. So hoping to get a little lanyap tonight with this TCU Baylor game, or TCU North Carolina game.
Yeah, real interesting. One of the biggest line movements of all of the first week of action. And once upon a time, North Carolina had opened up a 3-point favorite, 2.5 3-point favorite. It's been bet all the way to TCU minus 3.5. TCU did take their medicine last year, played a lot of underclassmen, was committed to just getting a lot of players some reps. They did. They took their lumps. They weren't a great team. It was one of their poor seasons in a while, but they hope to benefit from it this season. So we'll see. I gotta believe, even with all the distractions at this stage of his career, Bill Belichick, they'll still come a little more buttoned up. I remember that first game watching Bill Arnsparger. Similar defensive mind and respected mind. Certainly not the Super Bowls. We know that. But, man, the LSU was just a different team. You could see it in that very first game. Just blocking, tackling, just efficient, getting on and off the field. I'm very curious to see, with Belichick's team tonight. So I'm kind of stuck on the game. I would, if I have to, I'm going to take the points. Anytime a favorite turns into a dog, like you did for a while with Texas, Ohio State, I'll take the original favorite. So I'm going to have a little bit on North Carolina, but more on our trend, the first half unders. 26-10, all Division I matchups. Not when an SEC team plays an FCS team, but all D1 or all FBS matchup. It is 26-10. First thing today, for all the obvious reasons, the defenses are ahead of the offenses, especially in the first half. So a lot of them won easy. Some of them close. Some were close. We got some breaks along the way. But 26-10 for the entire opening week for college football. We're going to take first half under for North Carolina TCU tonight.
That's right now at 26.5 at plus 100 over at DraftKings. By the way, DraftKings does have a 50% profit boost on that game. So we always say it. You say it all the time. You get bonuses and boosts, use them.
Yes.
So
use them.
So use them. You can go over to DraftKings, get it, or you place your bets. Where are you tomorrow?
Early time tomorrow. Early time 10 a.m. to accommodate the press luncheon for Brian Kelly over at Dozy Place on Government.
Awesome. All right, Otter. I appreciate it, man. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, it's going to do it for us here on this Monday edition of AFR. You miss anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf. Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
Supper Club is closed today. They're closed Sunday, Monday. They reopen on Tuesday. So, not too early to start making plans for this weekend as well. Remember, opening home game of the season, the home opener this weekend for LSU with Tech coming in. You're going to have family coming in. You want to celebrate. Why not? Football is back in Baton Rouge. You want to make the most of your Friday night, your football weekend, or Saturday night? Get by Supper Club. Get your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. I'm telling you, there is going to be no better place to be in Baton Rouge on a Friday night before a home game or Saturday at Supper Club. Supperclubbtr.com for your reservation. Maybe even if it's not this weekend, it's a future game weekend when you know you got family, friends, colleagues, clients coming in. You want to treat into a great time. Supper Club. Get your reservations. Supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. That's Supper Club.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.